One of the very thing that is making you feel overlooked is the same thing that makes you priceless. You're looking at rejection as a sign that you're not worthy, when being rejected is actually a sign that you are very valuable. And anything valuable isn't easily accessible. What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Christina J, here to empower you. And today I'm doing just that. I'm reframing how you think about rejection. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Anything guarded has value. When a bank locks up money, it's because it's worth something. When a museum protects a painting, it's because it's priceless to you. And when God hides you, it's because you're set apart for something greater. Why is that? Because when you let people touch or encounter something without understanding its value, they don't handle it with the care it deserves. That mishandling leads to damage. When you see a jeweler handle a diamond, they put on gloves and are very careful with what they're holding. They are ensuring that the diamond is handled with precision, care, and protection because they understand its value. But if you were to give that same diamond to a baby, it'll probably get tossed, chewed on, bitten, and thrown across the room because the baby doesn't have the capacity to grasp the value of what they're holding. And the same goes for you. God isn't hiding you because you're not worthy. He's protecting you because not everyone is equipped to handle you with the love, care, and commitment that you deserve. Just because you're not flooded with attention doesn't mean you're lacking. Society will have you thinking that more attention equates to more desirability, but quantity does not equal quality. Take a crowded restaurant. Just because it has a long line wrapped around the building doesn't mean that the food is the best. It just means that it's popular. Meanwhile, there are some hole-in-the-wall places. Trust me, I've been to some. And while it may look a little sketchy on the outside, baby, that food be bussin'. They may not have a crowd, but those who know. It's one of those hidden gems. And the same applies to you. What good is 100 people admiring you if not a single one is willing to step up and commit? So that got me thinking, why do we crave that attention in the first place? Well, since childhood, we've been conditioned to believe that a man's validation defines our worth. Fairy tales taught us that love isn't something that we cultivate within ourselves or through God. It's something that we earn when a man chooses us. The princess doesn't save herself, the prince does. She isn't worthy until she's wanted. And that belief follows us into real life. Women are taught to be desirable, admired, chosen. We learn how to attract a man's gaze, but not necessarily how to honor our own identity and values. So when the attention isn't there, we start questioning ourselves. Am I not pretty enough? Am I doing something wrong? Why do they entertain me but never commit? But those aren't the questions that we should be asking. The real question is, why are we basing our worth on people who were never meant to carry it? Would you hand a priceless painting to someone who doesn't understand art? Would you expect a child to carry the weight of a warrior? Of course not, because they're not equipped to handle it. Yet, so often, we place our self-worth in the hands of people who were never meant to hold it. We seek validation from those who don't even value themselves, love from those who don't have the slightest clue on how to love, and approval from those who can't even see their own worth, let alone ours. It's like expecting nourishment from an empty plate or direction from someone who's lost. No matter how much you pour into them, they can't give you what they don't have. Your worth was determined by God before you even took your first breath. So why are you handing it over to people who are never qualified to define it in the first place? Some people don't want to invest in what's valuable. They just want to enjoy it for a moment. They want the appearance of something great, but not the responsibility that comes with it. And this isn't just about relationships. It's about mindsets. As we grow and mature, our thinking deepens. You gain wisdom, perspective, and discernment. But not everyone is on that level. Ever tried giving someone some real life-changing advice, but they shrug it off like it's nothing? Advise someone to start saving and investing early, but they shrug it off thinking that they have all the time in the world. Or encouraging a loved one to pursue their dream, only to watch them settle for less because of their fear of failure. You are able to see the bigger picture, the long-term consequences, the hidden potential, and the opportunities waiting to be seized. But they haven't developed the vision to recognize it yet. And that's okay, because your value isn't based on who recognizes it. A diamond is still a diamond, even if someone mistakes it for glass. The mistake is not in the diamond's worth, it's in the beholder's perception. Their inability to see its true value doesn't make it any less rare, strong, or precious. It only reveals the limits of their own understanding. A Rolls Royce is one of the most luxurious, high-value cars in the world. And if you ever do see one, you notice it. People admire it, they take pictures of it, and some might even test drive it. But most will never sign their name on the dotted line. Not because they don't want it, but because they can't afford it. You are Rolls Royce. Not everyone who sees you will be able to have you. Not everyone who desires you will be willing to pay the price of commitment, the price of respect, the price of effort, and the price of sacrifice. And that's okay, because when someone truly values something, they don't just admire, they invest in it. And someone will happily sign their name on the dotted line for a Rolls Royce while others hesitate. Why? Because they're too focused on the price tag, the effort, the consistency, the accountability it takes to be with someone of your caliber. Because they've never experienced someone like you before. They don't understand that loving you is one of the greatest investments that they'll ever make. And investments require responsibility, patience, and a willingness to do the work. And many great investments, they don't seem like it at first. People hesitate, unsure if they should invest or not, especially if they're not used to investing to begin with. Some people are so used to counterfeits that when they encounter the real deal thing, they fumble it. And that's not a reflection of your worth, that's a reflection of their readiness. Baby, you're on a whole nother level. But guess what? The right person won't flinch at the cost. They won't hesitate. They won't second guess your worth or try to negotiate it down. They'll recognize exactly what they have in front of them and sign their name with confidence because they understand that anything truly valuable is worth investing in. Real investments don't come without sacrifice. They require effort, commitment, and a willingness to nurture what's been given. The right person won't see you as too much or something they need to afford. They'll see you as a privilege. And when you're truly valued, you're not an expense, you're an asset. When was the last time you saw a Rolls Royce commercial? Exactly. You don't. Because it doesn't need to convince people of its worth. It's not mass produced, and it's not for everybody. But those who understand its value will seek it out. And the same applies to you. God isn't keeping you hidden because you're lacking. He's protecting you because you're rare. The right friendships, relationships, and opportunities, they require preparation. God is making sure that when you're revealed, you're surrounded by people who see your worth, not those who would mishandle it or devalue it. Let me remind you that you're not just anybody. You are handpicked by God, set apart and destined for greatness. And sometimes that means being hidden. That's not rejection. That's redirection towards the love, relationships, and opportunities that align with your work. Remember that not all money is good money. Not all attention is good attention. Every no isn't bad. It's just setting you up for the right yes. And you only need one. The truth is, you don't need everybody to choose you because God already has. He's already called you, He's already set you apart, and He's already written your story. The right opportunities, relationships, and doors will open in His perfect timing. Not because you're chasing them, but because you are already chosen for them. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all know how we do on this side of the internet. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you share it with someone else who might need to hear it. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.